Recording in progress. There we go. Great. Right. All right. Welcome everybody to the first client case study. I've got Dani here, Dani Martin. Dani's great. We've been working together for ages. I've known Dani for years now, from school, she used to train at a gym I used to kind of manage, and now we've been working together for the last 10 months. And I thought me and Dani have been talking for ages with this, and I've been wanting to get her on for ages just to discuss her journey, because she's in a brilliant position right now. Great with food, great with training, strong as hell, loving it. I think, Dani, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, the goals when you initially started was confidence with training, learning with training, and confidence and better relationship with food.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I think you've got that. And
oh, for sure.
What we were just talking about off camera, I want to kind of reverse it to when you didn't have that, and then the steps up to what we got now. Because at the moment we were at a position where it's like, well, what's next? How strong do you want to be? How do you want to develop your physique? Because you're just kind of like, just go with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's go back to before all of that, really. We haven't really, like I said off camera, we haven't really had this conversation too in depth yet. So just start from the beginning with your fitness and training, kind of like what inspired it, what got you into it before we started working together.
I mean, I don't really know what inspired it. I feel like my food brain kind of made me feel like I had to be exercising, and I had no idea what I should be doing. Like, I had no clue. I'd just run on the treadmill for a bit, and I'd go do just whatever machines were there, and just that'd do it. And just hope for the best. But obviously I wasn't really eating enough or anything, so of course you're just gonna end up just losing weight, and it's just not healthy in the mind and whatnot. So I don't know what sort of, I guess I enjoyed it when I was there. It's just, it came from a bad place.
What do you mean by you said your food brain?
That's what I call it, because it's not, I like try to be like, it's not me, it's just this bad demon kind of mind, because that's how it like sometimes used to feel. But
so how would you describe that then? How are you feeling your food brain?
It just, I mean, everyone has like little negative thoughts like to put you down, but the more you listen to that sort of the thoughts, the more they'll come in. And so it always, so I just I kind of let it in and just
And what were these thoughts then?
Oh God, I mean, I used to write them down, because I used to think if I write them down, that'll like get it out there that I've thought about it, it's gone, but it'd just be typical, like, oh, you're too fat, you're ugly, you're worthless, yada yada yada, just all that kind of stuff. And the more you listen to it, the worse it gets.
Yeah, too right. You look at it more, and then you tend to just kind of like manifest more, don't you?
Yeah.
But I mean, like as we were saying off camera, like, did you feel these kind of came from anywhere, or like anything kind of like sparked this food brain?
I don't know. I mean, a little while ago, I was trying to think back to like when it first started. I mean, I didn't have any eating disorder way back. Like, so when I was younger, I remember me and my like best friend, we had this like dance thing like on the TV, and we used to follow it, and then we'd do a lap around my house, and then we'd run upstairs and jump on the scales and see if we lost weight. Obviously that's not how it works, but like when that hit me, I was like, oh my God, it started from such a young age. And I think it's just the whole society drilling into you that small is good, kind of thing. But that kind of went away I didn't really think about it. And then
how old were you then?
I don't know, I want to say maybe 10, I don't know, maybe younger, which is crazy. But that's kind of all I can remember. Like, that's the first thing that kind of stuck out in my mind. And then it kind of came back, I'd say around like GCSE time, a little bit before that. I had a boyfriend, and he wasn't very like reassuring, and we were breaking up, and GCSEs were just stressful, and so I wasn't eating, and then I was like losing weight, and then in my mind I was like, oh, that's good, and it just kind of spiraled.
Okay, so at that time, most people have obviously experienced GCSEs and exams, like the stress and the pressure of you know, parents, school stuff, and then you've now got this newfound thing for food and that management, and then that's just kind of like spiraled. So it's just probably that period, just the accumulation of things, like you said, with your relationship and stuff like that. Just kind of
definitely. I just think it's accumulation. There's no set thing. Like no one's ever really been horrible and said the things that my food brain says. So that's like, it's not really come from that. But yeah, just accumulation.
Okay. So what did your food brain kind of do to you then? Like kind of what, you know, so you were, what was your relationship like with your food, with exercise? Was it excessive? Was it excessive like not eating around this kind of GCSE period, and from on there, like what were you physically doing, or the food brain making?
I mean, it's hard to think back to GCSE time because it's quite a long time ago now.
I got
but I mean, I can't remember what I did yesterday, so but yeah, I mean, I think I was more focused on just like the bad relationship, and then just like I remember my mum would always check, because you could go online and check what your like child had been eating, and it would come on, like, so basically I probably had like a cookie for lunch and that was it.
Was this with school?
Yeah, this was in school. And so my mum would always sort of like check what I'd eaten, and she'd be like, you had a cake for lunch, and I'm like, no, like cake means like a variety of things, which I mean it did, but it meant like cookie, flapjack, cake, you know. So I think I was in denial a bit as well, like I didn't really understand it for a bit. And then it's just the years went on. I just listened to the food brain more, and it just got worse. I think it also got worse when I first kind of started working in the salon. There was a lot of girls there, and just it's just the salon talk. I think it's just like it's just like, oh, I ate this, I'm so fat, you know, or just, you know, I've been so ill recently, I've not been able to keep anything down, at least I'll lose weight, you know. It's just that whole sort of thing. You're like, oh and then I know, because you know, I'm naturally quite small, and so all the girls would be like, oh, when you hit your 20s, that'll go. And so then obviously I'm like, fuck. But
it's all stupid, and I have no idea where all that comes from. You know, I hear a lot of my clients and stuff like that talk about what people say at their work and stuff like that. You know, it's all the same stuff that you hear, and it's just come from like miseducation and 100%. Just I don't know, just people just say the same crap through the years. You know, it just passes down generation to generation, and no one really knows why they're saying it. No one really has a clue. You know, it's all rubbish. Like you said, you know, I'll be ill, at least I'll lose weight.
Yeah. Someone literally said that to me the other day. I was like, stop.
Yeah. And it's and then again, then people looking at the scales and just seeing it like fluctuate, and it goes up like 0.2, and they're like, oh my God. And it's like, what? I mean, I don't know if you were kind of like controlled by the scales back then as well, but I know a lot of people are. And that, again, that messes with it. And it's like, oh, I went at 0.2 today, I need to starve myself today, or I need to like move back. And then like it's just a yo-yo of food, and then they're like, oh, I give up, eat loads, you know, then I'm back on it, give up, eat loads. It's just that vicious cycle. So when did you started the salon? Was that 16, 17, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
And that's like roughly when you started training as well, because you were down in the Coombean gym.
Yeah, so I think it just all ties in. I thought, you know, I need to exercise and not eat much.
So when you started in the gym then, you were 16, 17. So the obviously environment of work. So when you started training, you still weren't eating well.
Yeah, definitely weren't.
Like what would be again, you can't even think back to yesterday, but I mean, roughly what would an average day be?
There is one day that just blows my mind. So that I had an egg for breakfast. I caved in and I had breakfast. I had a boiled egg and some toast. I felt so guilty. I didn't eat for the rest of the day. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to walk home because I'm going to burn off this egg. I didn't walk all the way back to Haybrook, but, you know, I walked to like Plymstock and picked up by my mum. I was like, what is going on? Like,
so you had an egg and a slice of toast?
Yeah, and I walked home.
Like 250 calories or something.
I know. I look back to it and I'm like, God.
Not even that, yeah.
Yeah.
God. And you walked home, you decided to walk home from town.
Yeah.
You felt guilty about the way you're eating. Was that like you obviously said that was like a standout day, but would that kind of like mindset be like a common occurrence?
Yeah, 100%. And in the salon, we used to hand out like fresh cake.
Yeah.
And because I hadn't brought any lunch or, whatever, I'd end up just binging this cake. The people who made it were like, how's it going so fast? It'd just be because I've not eaten all day and I'm like, oh, I'll just have one, and I just can't stop. And it's like, oh, and then obviously I'd put myself down, like, oh, I've eaten so much today, I've eaten so much cake, oh, I'm gonna put on so much weight. But it's just because, I wasn't feeding myself.
Oh God, that is, yeah. It's just because, yeah, massively undereating, and what people don't realize is, and obviously what you know now,
yeah,
fuel your body to a certain extent so it can do all of its normal stuff.
Yeah.
And you can have a better sustainable relationship with it, and
100%.
lose weight, do all those things. You don't feel you need to walk 6 miles to burn off. It's probably more than 6 miles, isn't it, to burn off one egg and
I know.
easy slice of toast.
Mental.
That is crazy.
It's just, I think it just comes from a place of being so uneducated about food.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they talk about it in school a bit, but you just don't really. It doesn't click. You don't understand it.
They don't. Yeah, it's
they talk a bit more about BMIs, and I remember like being too scared to step on the scale in front of everyone in case it was high.
So in school, what I remember is obviously they talk about BMI. So for people who maybe don't know, BMI is obviously like a measure of like your weight and height and age, and they put you into this category because everyone has to be in a bloody category. Fuck off, it's stupid. So it puts you in like an average, and most people are off average anyway. If you have a bit more muscle mass than average, you're taller than average, or shorter than average, or whatever, you're out of the average anyway. Your numbers are off, and then it'll make, if I bulk up a little bit, I'm then classed as morbidly obese. I think I was like morbidly obese, like class. I was like coming through puberty. I just had a growth spurt. I was 16, 17. I was like one of the tallest in the year. I was like morbidly obese because my height and my weight for my age was too much. I just had a growth spurt. I was like, I'm not obese. I got abs. Yeah, and so I think BMI is absolute waste of time. I don't know why they still use it, but again, that's what the education from a young age is crap. And then it's the food plate, which is better. They don't go talking about like calories, macros, stuff like that. They just talk about the general kind of balance of food, which I think is better. But there's no support education. Teachers don't know, or very, very few teachers know about it. You look at most teachers, and they're probably overweight, don't really look after themselves. So yeah, it's not really instilled at a young age, and it's easily seen why, like, obviously yourself, and I'll tell you a funny story about me actually. So what people don't know is I was fat before I hit puberty, like short, 5'3", 42-inch waist. I used to think watching TV made you fat.
Oh God.
I would walk into the living room like that. Honestly, I'm 10. Who has a fucking clue? I used to think watching TV made you fat. So I'd come home. So I had my growth spurt when I was like 15. I went from weighing the same at like 5'4", 5'5" to 6'1". Weighed the same, just went slim, 6-pack over a summer, and people were like, how'd you lose weight? Around puberty. I did nothing.
I just grew.
I did absolutely nothing. But my body wanted to grow. But I would come home, I would eat like bloody 4 or 5 bacon sandwiches a day. I didn't care, but I would come home. I'd my sofa in my room. I'd run laps around my sofa. I'd do a few press ups on the sofa. I couldn't do a fair press up. I was fat. Sit-ups, and then what else would I do? I think I tried this for like a week or something like that, and then didn't watch TV. It's like TV made you fat. My parents signed me up for the whole Change for Life thing and stuff like that. I didn't do that. They were obviously worried because they're undereducated as well. But then I wouldn't watch TV for a bit because I thought TV made you fat. And again, obviously I don't expect 10-year-olds to know it, but it's like, again, it just shows how my mind was just working, and I was just kind of convincing myself of these things. I never transitioned into an eating disorder or anything like that. I don't really know where that came from. I had like this week of like, you know what?
Yeah,
I'm done with being fat. I get my life together. No,
I think everyone has that kind of week.
Yeah. That's it. My week was when I was 10.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
just downhill.
crazy.
I'm going downhill now.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, bringing it back. So obviously you started the training. So what was the transition? So what made you, so the food brain made you want to exercise?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, obviously you're at Coombean, so you decided I'm going to go to Coombean gym.
Yeah.
Gym. So talk to me, like, what were you thinking about with your training then? Like, did you have any idea when you were going in and doing whatever exercise, like you said, just running on the treadmill, wasn't it?
Yeah, I really, got into my running. I did enjoy it at the time.
Yeah.
But, because I hadn't eaten, my body was just like stop, basically. I wouldn't really have any workout plans. I started to find some like influencers on Instagram. Some of them were, all right. And that is when I found one of the people that she didn't physically herself help me, but just seeing her content, because she also came from eating disorder, just seeing how far she'd come, I was like, oh wow, okay. And it just educated me a little bit more. But so I just followed just stupid little Instagram workouts and hope for the best.
Yeah, just going in, just like, squat, jumps, lunges,
Yeah,
kind of stuff. Hey, it gets you moving, doesn't it? It gets you moving.
exactly.
But obviously your motives behind it were like, I need to burn as many calories as possible, eat as little as possible, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd be obsessed with like seeing, because I think on the treadmills they used to say how much like you'd roughly burn.
Yeah.
And so I used to be quite obsessed with seeing like that.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, okay, so that means I've burnt off that egg this morning, or that means I've burnt off, this. So yeah, and I justify it that way.
Yeah. And that is again, I remember that you hear like PE lessons and it's like, oh yeah, do like 200 and you burn off your Kit Kat or something like that.
Yeah.
That's not really what you want to be kind of instilling in a kid's mind. So how long, well, obviously from your training and that, did you see any kind of like, transition to kind of maybe more eating or whatever? It's like, how long did that kind of last? Was that your whole period at Coombean?
Yeah, pretty much, I'd say. I'm trying to think, when did it?
So that would have been like, you're 21 now. So, and you started like 17 there. So that would have been like 3 years over there. Obviously we had like the lockdown and stuff. Now, did you see any kind of, obviously I knew you then, so and we had a little bit of back and forth, but I don't really know how you changed in terms of like your mindset for training and food. Did you notice any kind of like, maybe better eating habits and stuff like that during that period?
I can't really remember. I think I was just so, food is bad, so I didn't really, eat much. I'm trying to think, when did it get better?
When did you notice the biggest kind of like mindset like shift, like from
like, I would say it was after I'd seen this girl on Instagram, and she was just saying like, food isn't the enemy, like you need food, like food is fuel, and she'd say all little things like that, and I was like, oh my god, yes. And and then I think I just started eating a bit more, like I just kind of try follow, because she put things on her story and I try follow a little bit what she was eating, but again, that's probably a mistake because everyone's different.
But it's something, and
it got me eating more. So
the food was non-existent, well, to a certain degree. Like what would do you know what a day would look like during that period then, like when you were kind of like trying stuff with her in terms of food?
I can't remember. I remember she used to have she used to like really like these crumpets and have this like protein spread, so I remember like that would be my dessert. I'd have like a proper dinner, lunch was probably like a meal deal or like leftover dinner, and breakfast I always used to have like a boiled egg and some toast. And
would you feel you'd have to walk home from work?
No, I think at that point I started to think, no, I do need to eat more food, but I would also still then go to the gym and just do all the wrong stuff.
So your exercise was just the gym, you didn't think you needed to just run everywhere all the time?
No, I mean, I think I did try to do a couple of runs outside, but it's a lot harder than the treadmill, so I wasn't very good at it. So it'd just be in the gym.
So I think you were like kind of like in that period then you were subconsciously making changes. You've gone from eating maybe nothing, maybe one meal a day, and feeling like you had to burn off, to 3-ish meals a day and training. So you'd met you just from that post, just from feeling, well, how were you feel? Do you remember how you were feeling yourself at that point, like with your body or like your food brain, what it was, how it may be different at that point?
I mean, I still think it was quite bad. Probably a bit better. I mean, there would obviously be days when I'm like, oh, I need to go throw up because I've eaten too much, whatever. But I think overall, it was like definitely better than what it was when I wasn't eating.
Yeah.
Because I'd obviously just like when I wasn't eating, I'd just want to come home and sleep because I had no energy. I just felt sick all the time.
Yeah.
So all that started to disappear, obviously, because I was getting my fuel in. But so I don't know.
Do you feel anything else played a part in it? Because you mentioned like your mum was looking at your food, and obviously, so you obviously noticed this girl on Instagram. You'd started training yourself, and then you obviously mentioned your mum was making you food. Did your parents play like a factor in like kind of you realizing things?
I mean, I didn't actually tell them to the extent. They knew I had like anxiety, and I went to a therapist for that. And when really I should have probably been speaking to the therapist about my food.
Yeah.
But that also played a part of it and just made me kind of realize just different things. I just was too scared to tell my family. I don't know why. So she'd just make comments like, oh, you need to eat more. Like, oh, you're so small now. And I used to be like, Mum, shut up. Don't comment on my body. But she doesn't know. She's coming from a like loving place.
Yeah.
But in my mind I was like, stop.
Yeah, she doesn't realize like the harm that
you
do, because it's just you're like spiraling as it is, and then
exactly
does your nutting. No, I know exactly what you mean. You get people all the time, I've spoke about it so many times, like people like, oh, you don't want to get too thin now, do you? Or why are you eating so much? When people try and start making some behaviors, then all it takes is more comments just to kind of throw them off. And I've experienced this. I experienced it with my mum, and we laugh about it now, but it's when I did my prep thing. And my prep thing, I was trying to get skinny as fuck. I was trying to get and it'd be like comments like, oh, why are you eating like this? Why are you eating like this? Why are you looking so thin? And it's looking unhealthy. I know it's unhealthy. I know what I'm doing. Getting like that lean is not healthy. But again, that would mess with my head. And I'm like, what am I doing? And then that was just arguments and just throw you off. And that was probably, it didn't lead to an eating disorder, because I know I was making myself do that for this show. But I know how the comments make you feel. Whether if I was in a bulking phase and like, ooh, aren't you getting a bit too big, and you need around. It's like, well, it's what I'm intentionally trying to do. Try and cut. Aren't you looking a bit too thin? I'm intentionally doing this.
I'm trying to.
Like, and then so obviously you're then making progress in that with your food and stuff like that. And I understand how like a comment, even if like people notice you're eating a little bit more, like, Dani, you're eating a little bit more now, aren't you? And then even they don't know what they're saying, but then and like, people will experience these comments all the time, whether it's in work, family, relationship, partners, or something like that. Just like it goes both ways. You're eating too much, or you're eating too little. There's no. You're eating the right amount now, aren't you?
Exactly.
No one will say that, will they? No one will say that.
No.
I don't really know where. I think it just probably comes from people's own insecurities with themselves.
Like and I know when it comes like from like your mum or parents, it's coming from a loving place. They're like worried about you, but it's just I'd always be like, you don't understand, and then we'd get into an argument, and she's like, well, help me understand. I'm like, I don't want to talk.
I don't want to. It's not, especially if they've made that comment and then they want to have a conversation about it. It's not a good transition to that conversation. It's like, go away, maybe another time. All right, so let's come forward. So pretty much, obviously, that would then lead us up to like lockdown and stuff. When did that even start? Was that March 2019? 2020. I don't know. I don't even know how long this has all been going on for now. I'm just March 2020. Okay, so how was that? How was lockdown for you?
Well, I mean, I bloody loved the whole like actual thing, because I just was sunbathing the whole time. But I think my food brain was actually a lot better. That was probably the first year that I had been like the best, you know, probably had a couple days where I like, you know, thought, oh my God, eating too much, whatever. But I kind of had learned that, you know, that's not me, that's not reality, that's just the stupid thoughts.
Yeah.
And so I could at that point be able to establish like, stop. I mean, I wasn't eating enough, but that's just, again, just from just not understanding calories and food. I was just eating, you know, what would I eat? Probably, yeah, well, 2 boiled eggs at this point and some toast.
Oh, there we go.
Upgraded to 2. I think sometimes I'd have a bit of cereal as well with that. Lunch would just be like a little sandwich, some crisps, and yeah, then my dinner. So, you know, had my 3 bog standard meals, but I'd also be going for a walk every morning with my dad. I'd also do like a Chloe Ting workout, you know, as everyone else did. But yeah, definitely like a lot healthier then.
Yeah.
But just not enough food for me.
What do you feel kind of brought that step about then?
I don't know. Trying to think back and like lay it all out.
I mean, it could just be something that just happened.
Yeah, I think it was just over time after like realizing that food isn't the enemy. I think it just, yeah, slowly got better, and I got better at just kicking the thoughts and realizing if you do listen to them, they get worse.
Yeah.
If I don't listen, it goes away.
Yeah. Would you ever notice kind of any kind of like relapse in behaviors or experiences?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I had that. I don't know. Let's say I got better sort of 2019 maybe, and then yeah, ever since then I've been off and on, you know, going up and down. Even in lockdown, I'd have my bad days and I just, you know, want to cry and just either throw up or just not eat. But mostly it was, you know, just fine.
And what do you think would bring about the bad days?
I don't know, maybe one day I was slightly more bloated, or I don't know, you just sort of look at yourself and wake up and think, yeah. But yeah, I don't know.
It's common, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
There's like, oh, I just feel a little bit more watery today. I feel a little bit more there, or maybe there, or the scale. Like I said, the scale's gone up by 0.2. You know, and especially as a woman, you know, not a lot of other women realize, obviously, you know now.
Yeah.
And not even just women, obviously men as well, but weight fluctuates, and more with women, weight fluctuates plenty throughout your cycle. You know, it's understanding that if you're leading up to coming on, your weight's going to be all over the place. When you're coming off and you're a little bit more kind of balanced, it's like your weight's going to maybe be a little bit more balanced, but it's just gonna yo-yo. And it's understanding that at certain points during the cycle, weight goes up and then come down. Because you're eating more. You can eat the same throughout the whole of the month, but your weight will still go up and down. Natural cycles, fluctuations, and then away from your cycle, you now know there's so much more that kind of affects it. You know, stress, sleep, training, water, food. There's some fluctuations in your weight. Doesn't mean you're getting fatter or getting thinner. It's just it's just a number on the scale at the end of the day. But I understand how seeing it, and I was in exactly the same place. You're looking at it, it's like, something's gone wrong yesterday. One day, but one day isn't the be all.
100%.
It's not what it means. So we had a lockdown. When did we come out of lockdown? I have no clue. It was
around, I think I went back to work around July
2020. Yeah, 2020. Then gyms opened August 2020. So that's when you started training down the gym.
Yes.
Yeah. So coming out of lockdown, coming to the gym, where was your head at then? Wait, sorry, did you do much exercise in lockdown? You said you did walk there.
Yeah, walking and just I think I'd do maybe half hour, 40 minutes a day of just like abs and whatever. Stuff like
that. Okay, so then back to work, training gym. So where were you at then?
I think for the first month I was just so busy I couldn't really fit. Maybe just even like the first week or two, I was just too busy and I couldn't fit it in.
With work.
And then I started, you know, going in the mornings, I think. God, yeah. I mean, again, I was I'm trying to think what I used to do.
Well, so obviously you'd made the transition and come from Coombe Gym, where we used to work and used to train, to the gym. So how was like going from like a really small community gym to like a bigger gym? Like what was that?
It was definitely scary. Yeah, because I was used to knowing pretty much everyone in there. You'd all give us a nice smiley wave, hello, whatever. And then going to somewhere that you didn't really know where everything was, you didn't know what everything did, kind of thing. I think I'd stay in like the little corner section because that just felt close to Coombe Gym. And go on the treadmill. But I think at that point I'd started to learn that I wanted to get into more sort of weight stuff. So I was trying to be a bit more like brave and go into the big boy section. But I think I'd mostly just use the little machines.
Yeah. What made you want to get into weights? What made you think of that?
So again, I think it was this influencer. She would like post of her weight stuff, and I heard it was like you can still like lose weight whilst building like the muscle and whatnot. Obviously I didn't need to lose weight, but again, that's just me being uneducated. And I think I just preferred it. I realized running isn't that fun. I don't like getting stitched. So, I was like, I can do weights, lose weight, and I'm not dying. So
I used to run a lot, and again transition from it. I agree with you. Much further
because I'd always go with Katie in the gym, and at first she would do more sort of weighty stuff and I'd do more cardio, and then we kind of just like swapped, and we'd like to go together, and she'd always want to do her cardio first. I used to be like, well, I don't need to do that now.
Do your weights.
Yeah.
So what was your food like then? Like, so we had like several months of lockdown coming into the gym, working. You got back to working a lot. So you obviously had quite a bit more of a routine coming in, so there's a lot more distractions. But what do you feel your food was like then? So we're looking at August, September 2020.
I can't really remember, so I think that kind of means that it was all right. Just again, probably wasn't eating enough for what I had been doing and what like I wanted to, my goals or whatever. But but I'd still been like eating just, I don't know, again, like my 2 eggs, my cereal, just that sort of plain, maybe a meal deal, whatever, leftover dinner.
Okay, so then how are you feeling with the gym training? Like, you're obviously making a little bit of progression yourself, obviously a whole new gym environment, a lot of new kind of to play with. Where was your confidence at with your training?
I think I was starting to get a bit more confident, thinking like I knew what I was doing, when in reality I probably didn't know that much, because I know a whole lot more now, like working with you. I think it started to get to a point where I was like, I'm not seeing too much difference in I'm not making too much gains or whatever.
Gains train.
So and I was just getting a bit bored because I was just doing the same sort of stuff every time, and so then I was like, let's get a PT.
Love it. So because we started, so it must I think it was October 2020.
Yes, I think it was around then
we started.
I think so, because then we went into the November.
Because then we did it outside. So we done like a month and a half in the gym. So it was all gone then. So PT. So what was obviously you knew me. We known each other for years from school. Like what were the things you were looking to kind of get from with me? Like you just mentioned like your training and stuff, like your progress, but what else? Is there anything else on your mind?
Obviously confidence, and to fully just get rid of like this eating disorder brain, and just be at one with food and training, and not have any bad stigma around any of it.
Just at one with the food.
At one.
Love it. So we started. I mean, I try and get like your original sheets up, but I think remember you being something around like 1,600 calories or something like that, like originally first starting, probably a lot more food than you were originally on. So you were training.
I think so.
How often were you training?
I think maybe 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Which was better because I think when I was at Kundian, I'd try to go for 5 or more.
Yeah.
And so I just wanted to kind of cut back so I could like know in my mind that it was okay to have rest days, and just don't have to do it every day.
Yeah. No, you don't have to do it.
And you can still make progress. Yeah.
You can go anywhere from 1 to 7, up to you. You make progress as much as it's obviously going to be different, but you can still make progress. That's good. Glad you understand that. So obviously we had month and a half in the gym, outdoor PT for 3 months, which gone. I know. How was it?
I mean, it wasn't actually that bad. I mean, every day I'd be like, it's raining again. I don't want to go. I'm cold. But
it was some
really,
emotional days, wasn't there?
Yeah.
So emotional days.
It was good.
So obviously we'll get to where you are now in a sec, but your transition at the moment, you've transitioned loads with your training, food, your confidence. So what were the main things you started, I don't know, doing or getting comfortable with, and with training, nutrition, what are the main things that kind of made you start, all right, I'm going to definitely eat more? I know obviously I'm telling you a lot of things and educating you, but do you remember like, kind of key things maybe I was saying, or was it just like Tom says it, I'm just going to do it?
Yeah, it's pretty much more Tom says it, that means it's fine to do. He won't lead me down the wrong way. He'll do what's good for me. I remember seeing the amount of calories you put me on. I can't remember. I think it was around.
I'm gonna try and find it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I remember as well that this day that you put me on 2,100 hour.
So
that scared
the first
me.
goal. so this is the end of October. 2,150, and you were eating 1,700 at your lowest, like on your lower days. Some days you're even going up to like 2.5. You had like a bit of a range fluctuation.
Yeah.
Your lowest being 1,700. So already from your own training, your nutrition, just getting comfortable with it, stuff you find on Instagram, and obviously we had a bit of a relationship prior. You'd gone from eating your one-ish meal to a sustainable 1,600-1,700, which is, I think, for you, your age, height, weight, whatever, like, that's a good place to be. And that's not eating disorder territory. That's not healthy eating, as long as you weren't doing any excessive exercise really at this point. You were, like you said, a few times a week, maybe a bit of walking, running, whatever. But that amount you'd obviously taken, what was this, 4 years now, obviously with a lockdown in between, but you built it up to that, and now here's you 2,700 calories a day.
Mental.
So we're looking at 9 months. You've gone from 1,700. So do you mind if I say what you're weighing?
No, go for it.
So you were weighing about, you started at 55, and then you went down to like 53, 54 kilos for a bit. That's nothing different really.
Yeah.
But your food was still ranging like 1,700 all the way up to 2,500. You yo-yo a lot. Early days, getting grips with it and stuff like that, which is totally understandable. We were starting to work on your macronutrients and stuff, which you were getting on board with. And now if I fast forward to today, your progress tracker, your each any day ranges from maybe lowest 2.4 up to, it doesn't. It ranges anywhere from right to the bottom here, 2.5 to 2.8, 2.9. You've probably got a few, nearly 3Ks in there, and how does that feel? I know.
It's good. I mean, I still, I can't lie, I still will, step on the weight on the scales, and if it goes off, you just have that instant like, oh no. But then it's like, oh wait, my goal is to gain weight, so it's fine. It's just getting rid of that mindset. Obviously lower is good.
Because obviously now your most recent weigh-in that you've put on here is 59 on average. So when in August you were 53, 54, now you're 59. Does that change make you feel anything?
Not really, which is great to say, to be fair.
Okay, that's good. Now, how would that change have made you feel 4 years ago?
oh God, I'd be crying all day. I'd be, just trying to throw up and, whatever. Yeah.
5 kilos would have seemed like the end of the world, wouldn't it? But
100%. Oh God.
really, you've gained 5 kilos over, the course of 9 months. That's you're not getting fat.
Yeah.
And I those of you that maybe got this far that have seen Dani's transformation, if not, go have a look at it on my social media. Dani's not fat at all. She's put on 5 kilos of muscle. Gradually building up a good balance with food and the training, and it's really, really great to see. So let's talk about. I love how you eat. Let's talk about. So, what does nearly 3,000 calories of food look like in Dani's day to day?
Okay, so I tend to have 2 bagels for breakfast. One will have peanut butter, banana, and some honey on it. The other one will have peanut butter and jam. Yeah. And then for lunch, it'll be some kind of meal deal, or like leftover dinner, and a packet of Haribo. And then dinner will just be whatever mum makes me. And then if I've got room, like some more cereal or whatever, maybe some more Haribo.
Dani should be sponsored by Haribo's.
I really should. It's embarrassing.
Carbohydrates are anywhere from like 370 to 400. Probably about 50% of it's Haribo's, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the easiest way I can find to get my carbs in.
But that's it. And it's just you now understand that you can eat all that, train, and it doesn't, what's your food brain saying now?
I mean, it's rarely there, to be honest.
Yeah.
I also have my days where it's like, I look at myself and be like, oh, I hate that about me, or I hate that, or oh, why are you doing this? Like, you were much happier when you weren't eating, kind of thing, which obviously isn't true, but it just like tries to convince you that, and so then I'll have a moment of like doubt, but I'll just be like, no, shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, most days are pretty okay. So I'm still working on the food brain, but
yeah, I know you're million times better. Times better. No, it very rarely comes up. I know especially it would just be maybe a passing conversation we'll have that. Yeah, that's fine. Reassured, done. I remember when we first started, we'd have some periods where we'd sit down and have a chat.
Yeah.
But again, then it still wasn't. I think you'd done so much by yourself and just got a lot more confident by yourself. I think you'd taken some good steps, and then when we started, you just kind of went boom, like going up on a roller coaster,
Yeah, 100%.
And so you've obviously changed a lot now. Not that other people matter, but like friends, family, Tom, your partner. How's that? How has that changed maybe since you kind of started developing loads?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all sort of positive. Obviously, Tom probably likes it, but I got a bit more to me. And obviously, I'm not crying all the time to him, but I mean, a lot of my friends are now starting getting into weights and stuff, and trying to grow their booty and whatnot. It's expanded. But yeah, I think I've had lots of compliments and saying you look so much better. Oh my god, you're still small, but you've just got shape to you. I mean, I just always find it awkward when people do comment on my body, because it's just a bit I just find that a bit weird, but I mean, it's nice and it comes from a good place. Yeah.
And yes, obviously the comments are great. So what about your relationship with your mum? Because obviously she's the one that was checking your food originally.
We're good, and I mean, she does. I don't think she really understands all the weightlifting and eating all this food and trying to gain muscle. I think it's just like a different, growing up in different sort of times, and
so any kind of thing that she says, obviously it's coming out of a loving thing, but you're kind of in a better position just to kind of like bat it off or just ignore it.
Yeah, 100%.
Good. And I'm assuming that's the same with kind of if anyone else kind of makes.
Yeah, I mean, there've been a couple of comments. I mean, again, we're only joking around. I have all these jeans, and they've now, they don't really fit me because I've, gained, weight. And they were saying that I was like the Hulk. I was like, no, stop. But and a comment like that back in the day would have just made me spiral back down. but I was just able to laugh it off and be like, yeah, I'm massive.
Yeah. It is funny. It's good. No, I'm so happy you're in this position, and I'm really excited just to see you kind of continue to develop from here, because like I said at the start, your original goals were to get more confident with training, and more knowledgeable training, and develop a better relationship with food.
Yeah,
you have done that.
Yeah, 100%.
You are strong as fuck for your body weight. You're eating, more than most grown men.
Yeah.
You're putting on more muscle and strength more than most grown men, or more than young lads and that as well. You're developing massively, but that's because but you're still living a life though, aren't you? You're not this training's a big part of your life, and nutrition.
It doesn't run my life.
But you still drink, you still go out for meals. You go beach. If you don't feel like going to the gym, you don't go to the gym.
Yeah.
You don't feel you have to be like, it doesn't take up your life, does it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you still feel like you've got a balance, and I think that's great. Like, people feel that they just kind of just go
one or the other.
All in. Now you obviously you've taken your time with this. And you understand it's a game, it's a patience game. This is a marathon kind of thing. And I'm very excited to see, because for you now, it's just like your foundations are just concrete, and they ain't going anywhere. Your food brain may niggle you a little bit, but I bet all my money on it that you ain't going to go back to where you were, because I think you miss 3,000 calories.
I'd miss my packet of Haribo a day.
Have you just got them on like reoccurring order?
I should do. No, I was going to do that actually at one point with because on Amazon you can get like a big box of straws. I've got a tub underneath me. Like, it's empty because I've obviously eaten them all. But I'd go through one of these. Maybe a month, maybe less. Yeah.
Just a reoccurring order of them every month.
Yeah.
Dangerous. But you know that you don't have to, people think, I need to eat out of Tupperware, I need to eat clean chicken and rice, and all that. Now, you're not someone that was overweight, but you're someone that was worried about your weight. And just by managing your calories, you've managed to gain weight nicely and put on some good quality muscle. The same principles apply for people who are looking to lose weight. Yes, Dani does eat a lot of food. Dani can do that. But individuals looking to lose weight, it's the same principles of just kind of getting that balance and consistency with eating. And even if they want to lose weight, weight management rules are still exactly the same. But your food can just continue, being pushed up as your training gets stronger. So let's talk about where your training is now. Obviously, from when you first stepped in the gym to now, you can just literally go in and you just feel confident doing whatever you want, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd say so.
And it's not the big boy area though, is it?
I'm happy to.
Dani's area.
Yeah, when I go in the big boy area and it's just lads surrounded around me, I'm like, I'm a bad bitch.
There we go. So it doesn't matter, does it? You can just go in there and train.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it wouldn't put me off.
Yeah. No,
I think once you do it once or twice, you're fine.
Yeah. If anyone sees Dani training in the gym, Dani trains hard. And and I think that it just comes from the confidence, just knowing how much you can push yourself and knowing what you need to do to develop. And you're going to just continue to develop from here. And I'm excited to be a part of it, excited to kind of push you to kind of keep going. We got some, hopefully some big goals that we'll continue to discuss for next year, seeing what you want to do. Okay, brilliant. So I put you on the spot here then.
God, what are you going to say?
Well, no, I've already told you I'm going to say this. So many bits of advice as you'd want to give, but what would be the main things you'd give to someone that would be, so you 4 or 5 years ago, there's a lot of people that would be in that situation now, they're uncomfortable with eating, they're stepping on the scales, they're hearing these comments, they hate the look of themselves, something like that. And it's just, they've got their own food brain to deal with.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to those individuals?
Yeah, I mean, eating disorders are so varied, and little things will help some people and, mean nothing to others. But I just think the main things that kind of helped me was like, food is not the enemy. Don't listen to the thoughts because it's not reality. I'm trying to think. But yeah, just like, you got to learn to like love yourself and who you are, and like, life's too short to worry about what you look like and your body. There's just so much more to life. Once you realize that, things just get better, I think.
So much more to life. I love it. I love that answer. Hey, that's absolutely great. Hey, this has been a great talk, and it's some of the things we haven't fully discussed yet. So I've actually really enjoyed just delving a little bit deeper into some of these things, just so we get a better picture of things. And I hope a lot of people kind of take some stuff away from this, and it's been good to see. And potentially, as you start developing even further, we can do another one of these and see where your journey from now is. And then maybe the next 9-10 months, see how Dani has changed. Brilliant. Hey, this is great. Anyone that has enjoyed this, just let me know. Send us a message. You'll give Dani some praise. She's smashing it. And this is great. Hey, Dani, thank you very much.
That is all right.
Amazing. And you can find Dani on Instagram at YellyListBig.
Stop.
A private account. And if you need a haircut, it's Dues by Dani in Plymouth.
Yeah.
She'll sort you out. She's gonna what's the time now? Dani's cutting my hair in 2 hours. Get a nice skin made. Hey, Dani, this is amazing. Thank you everyone who's watched it and made it this far. And I'm going to do more of these case studies coming up soon. If there's anything you want to see, just let me know. And I appreciate this. And let's stop that recording. Bye-bye.